Good morning and welcome back to your weekend unboxing here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at 2021's Horrified American Monsters. Now, this is an alternate version of the original game of Horrified, which uses the Universal Studios monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, all those kinds of things. Whereas American Monsters uses monsters and creatures from North American folklore. So, honestly, that's all I really know about it. But we were big fans of Horrified when we played it. So when Christmas came around and my children, despite my protestations, decided to get me gifts, one of them gave me American monsters for a present. So, been a crazy beginning of the year so far, and so we're finally just now getting to it. But let's take a look inside and we'll see what we get. But before we do that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few different videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's board games, role-playing games, miniatures, or anything in between. And I'd love for you to come along and see what I have to share. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So, obviously, the box art is going to be a little bit different. Luckily, with the matte finish on it, it doesn't reflect the lights from the infamously small work table. But it's got some great art on it. Now, personally, I think this is a little bit, we'll say, scarier than the original Horrified. I mean, we've got Bigfoot. We've got I don't know what that one is. We've got Mothman. Maybe a Chupacabra. Honestly, I have no idea what most of these are just by looking at them. But obviously, we will probably find out when we go inside. But we've got 6 new monsters. New art. But basically, that's it. It is a game for, I believe, 5 players. Yeah, up to 5 players. Plays in about an hour. So I really do need to get the review of the original Horrified done. Then we can do the review on this one, see how they're different. But it is a nice, it's a nice, fun little cooperative game. Just real quick. All right, so first off, this is fantastic. This is actually the back of the game board. So let's see here. So, from the Federal Bureau of Paranormal Investigation. Urgent memo. Citizen, by now you are no doubt aware of the extraordinary circumstances facing the town of Cross Creek. I can confirm the rumors are true. The terrifying events taking place are the result of unrest among cryptids, a powerful and otherworldly group of creatures drawn to Cross Creek by an unknown force. The FBPI has never faced a greater challenge. Our resources are stretched to their max, and we need Cross Creek residents with extraordinary abilities like yours to help us turn the tide and keep the good people of this town safe. You'll be tested against some of the most ferocious and terrifying beings imaginable, but we are confident that together we will persevere. There's no time to waste. Meet us at the enclosed location to receive further instructions. You're not just a citizen anymore. You're an investigator. All right, so one thing that I do like about this, now this is from Ravensburger and Prospero Hall. If you've seen any of my other videos on stuff from Prospero Hall and Funko Games, obviously this is a different publisher, but I'm pretty happy with their stuff and just some of the fun things they do. So like with this, this is the back of the game board, and they've got all of this, just fun information about American monsters. So we've got, the Chupacabra, the Banshee of the Badlands, Bigfoot. We've got art, basically just kind of showing, where these legends are in relation to North America. So, honestly, this is fantastic. I love these little Easter eggs that companies do. All right, so let's do our best to take a look at the board. Obviously, it will kind of be a little limited. All right, so we have I believe it's called the threat tracker, been a while since we played Horrified. But then we have the different locations around the town. So I had heard originally that American Monsters was literally just a reskin, just swapping out the monsters, but the game plays exactly the same. But this looks like you're getting a little bit different of a map, which is good. There's the fork in the river, kind of changing up the options. So obviously it's going to change up the patterns of play and how it works. We do have a coastline down here. But otherwise, the art looks really good. Definitely has kind of a 1950s Americana kind of feel to it, which I like, just because, especially with these kinds of monsters, that's kind of the feel that they usually like when stories are told about them. It's usually in that kind of mid-century kind of look, whereas the original Horrified, it was some Eastern European Dracula kind of city thing. So anyway, so this is good. It's great art. Honestly, like the stuff out of Prospero Hall and Ravensburger, I have not been disappointed with any of the art so far. So we'll leave it at that. All right, we then have our rule book, list of contents. Now the rules are actually fairly simple. It doesn't look like they've changed up the rules. They just have changed, obviously the way the map is laid out, the different characters. So this is a smaller rule book. The text is pretty dense, so make sure you read everything. But then we have the different monsters that you can encounter. So we've got Chupacabra, Banshee of the Badlands, Bigfoot, Mothman, Ozark Howler, and the Jersey Devil. So I don't know, this seems a little more complex than the original Horrified monsters, but I don't know. We'll have to play it and see how they're different. All right, we then have tokens. So from original Horrified, I do know that each monster basically has its own objectives for how you're going to have to, eliminate them. So, like this is kind of interesting because, so we've got different pieces of a picture of Bigfoot, so I'm guessing that you have to track him and then get a picture put together, which is kind of funny because supposedly the original picture of Bigfoot was just a guy making, pretending in his backyard, and yet we still believe in Bigfoot. Anyways, so we then have different citizens. We have our different investigators. Again, just kind of that 1950s Americana look. We've got the high school jock, the reporter with the press tag in his hat. But yeah, good pieces of art here. Double-sided. Which... Yep. Alright, we then have more tokens. Let's refocus. So different animals, I'm guessing, for the Chupacabra. Yeah, so this is okay. These are going to be like the equipment tokens that you have to collect in order to Solve the clues, double-sided. I'm guessing these have something to do with the Jersey Devil. We've got traps. Oh, these are the characters. I do like the design, kind of like a notebook feel to it. Threat tracker, the... what was it? Oh, it's like the monster aggressiveness tracker. Frenzy. The frenzy token to mark which monster is currently the aggressive one. Alright, so we've got 7 different characters. That's good. The scout, the psychic, the journalist, the mountain man, the cryptozoologist, and the jock. Again, kind of that 1950s Americana, but also, like, they've definitely modernized it. You know, as far as, you know, like, we've got an Asian and a girl in the scouts, and, you know, so they're mixing it up a little bit. Still fun, still good art. Alright, so then we've got our miniatures. We'll look at those in a second. Alright, so this is the token bag. I'm not sure I like this. So it's Velcro, but I'm not sure I like this over just the regular cloth bag. Now, obviously that's kind of nice. So it'll sit upright because it's got this flat bottom. I don't know. I'm mixed on that. We'll have to play and see how well it comes off. All right. So we've got our... Okay, so this is fun. It's like a little dossier folder. Don't fold them. They're not supposed to be folded. There's no pre-bend in there. But that's still just a fun... Like, I love when they do good design stuff like that. So we've got Bigfoot. So like I said, you want to, you know, expose the picture and then go to Bigfoot's location, use clues to defeat him. Banshee of the Badlands. Looks like you have to do some stuff with music. The Chupacabra. Go at the farm, place a goat on one of the empty spaces until all 6 are filled. That's funny. So yes, you literally have to attract it with goats. The Ozark Howler, which I know nothing about. The Abandoned Mind, either reveal a tracker token or solve a revealed token. Ah, Mothman, that's what you use the traps for. And the Jersey Devil. Interesting. So I like these designs. I like the choices in the monsters. Some I am already aware of, some I am not. All right. Reference cards, always good when those are included. And then we've got advantage cards. Move around the board. Swap items. Move monsters around. Okay. Pretty standard. And I forget what cards these are, but basically these are gonna reveal new player or reveal new monsters, add additional clues, things like that. So, all right, but again, all the art on this is fantastic. standees. Not going to take those out. We've got new dice. I actually like the coloring. So you've got... Basically, you've got a 50-50 chance of rolling something, and basically a 1 in 3 chance of getting any of the results. So there's that. Alright, so last bit, let's zoom in and let's take a look at the monsters. Alright. Looks like we've got the Ozark Howler. Really good sculpt. This would actually paint up really easily, really well. But one thing you can do with your miniatures, just get some wash, like from your hobby store, or just some really, really thinned out paint, just so that you get into the recesses, and then it'll help get the details to pop. But I might actually paint these, just because it'll be fun. All right, then we've got Bigfoot. Obviously, they are making it easy as far as the painting goes, because you can do a lot of dry brushing with these and just keep it simple. Jersey Devil, which that thing's a bit gruesome. All right, pretty flexible on this, so yeah, that's the problem. The softer the plastic, you don't necessarily want to paint, because then it can crack. We've got Mothman. Now, he's kind of rigid except for these end points, but otherwise looks fine. Banshee of the Badlands. Little bit of warping. Honestly, not surprising on PVC miniatures. If you really want to flatten it out, hot water, like next to boiling water, dunk it for a couple of seconds, soften it up, get it into a spot that you like, hold it there for a minute, and then dunk it in ice water to just kind of freeze it into shape. Basically reharden the plastic. And then our Chupacabra. Or Chupa thingy, if you get the reference. So, spines are a little soft, but otherwise it's fine. Cool. All right, that is Horrified American Monsters. This is pretty much available everywhere. I think my son picked it up at a local retailer. Yeah, one of the big box stores. But yeah, it's pretty much available everywhere. I'm actually kind of excited to get this one to the table, just because, again, we liked Horrified, and so changing up which monsters are available, what puzzles you have to solve to do it, obviously is going to breathe some new life into the game. But other than that, what do you think? Have you played American Monsters? Do you prefer it over the original Horrified? Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. So, that out of the way. Couple of things down below. There will be links to our social media, so if you want to get notified over there when we put out new videos. Alternatively, go ahead and follow us. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.